Hey y'all, in today's video we're going to take a look at the SQL Server string function CharIndex. And first I'm going to show you why you care about it, and then we're going to see exactly how to use it. Now let's get to work. Almost invariably this guy comes up when you're importing some sort of text, field, and data, and then you want to do some sort of either segregation of the data, or you want to be able to, in essence, change it from this combination of text and numbers to just numbers so that you can sum it up. So let me show you where I've seen it multiple times. One of the things I can think of is when I've imported and exported like credit card transactions and they've got different ASCII characters in there that I need to remove, or maybe the currency, which is a text, is intermixed with a number. So if you look here on the screen, you'll see, and of course I just made this data up, but it's an imported text with three numbers, $1.25, $2.57, and $4.2201 USD. The problem is if I just want to sum those and they're in a text format, SQL Server SSMS is smart enough to know even here, I don't even get the option to sum it because it's not a number, it's a text. All right, so we're going to go through how we get from this guy to a number that we can sum. And to do that, I think we're going to need to walk through sort of step by step this CharIndex, how it works, and the syntax of it. So let's start simple, and then we'll come back to this, and we'll actually sum this number up. Now, what I've done here is I've predefined a couple examples to walk you through this. So basically the way that this works is you say select, and then the CharIndex function starts with what are we looking for, and then what is the string we're looking for in, and what it's going to do is return an integer. So if I say select CharIndex M in ABCD all the way to Z, let's see what we get. So what it does is it brings back it counts and it says this is how far over from the beginning of the string that character exists. So if we counted here, it would go over to 13 and we would find M. Now another thing, and just to show you, like let's say something a little bit easier like B, right? So if we put B in there, we should get a CharIndex of 2. So let's run it. And there it is. So what it does is it goes through a string, finds out where it's at in the string, and then gives you the number. So remember, it's gonna return a numeric value in there. Now, what if we say, give me a capital M? Well, by default, CharIndex is going to give you, it's basically case insensitive. It doesn't care whether you're using caps or lowercase. It goes through and it's going to find M, whether you say capital M or lowercase m. It's just going to show you that M. Now, you can add a little clause, and this is on the Microsoft documentation in the website, and you can say, you can add this space collate Latin general CSAS to the end of it, and it will actually pull back based on case sensitive. So in this case, we're saying, look for a capital M in this string, and when we run that, we're going to get a big fat 0. In other words, it can't find it. It's not in the string because we told it to look for a capital M. All right. And then same thing. If you have a long string like hello and thank you for subscribing to my channel. My name is Billy Thomas. It'll go through this entire string. And here I've told it to find Billy. So where does Billy start in that string? And if I say go, it'll say it counts 67. And that's where the word Billy starts at. All right, so let's keep moving here. Now let me walk you through this example using a string. So we declare our string, then we set the string to, it's an alphanumeric text, right? You can see the number 20,250 in there, but it's got a space and a USD in it. The first thing we're going to do, and some of this code is just formatting, like casting it as a string so that we can display it correctly. But the first thing I'm really doing is saying, tell me where the space is in the string. So CharIndex space on that string, and then I'm just casting it as a varchar so I can print it with my label. So let's run that, and it's saying the space is at the 10th character over. All right, great. Now the other thing we want to know is what is the total length of this string. So if I go and do that, so this is just the length of the string. So it says, all right, we've got space 10 and the length is 13. So if we take the length of that, or if we take the left side of, and this is another function, but we take the left of the string and we go over till we find the space, we will get the result that we're looking for, almost. Now what you don't see here is if I, right now, maybe you can see it there, but there's a space at the end of that double aught, right? So if I go and add another string on here and say test, watch what happens here. Oops, I forgot to put a closed parenthesis on it. Do you see how there's a space between the 00 and test? Well, that might be desirable, but in a lot of cases you have to, or you want to remove the space so that you have the actual numbers and you're not mixing numbers and alpha characters. So a pro tip here is when you do your left string, you want to do the char index -1. Now I'm going to put all of this code out on GitHub so that you have it, because I don't want you to try to type all this down right now. I'll give it to you out on GitHub. You can download it and play with it. All right, so if I uncomment this guy out and we run it, let's take a look. You see the difference? There's a space here, and then we told it to go char index -1, or the length -1, to get that extra space out of there. Now let's jump back over to SQL Server data and a table, and let's just kind of craft this out and walk our way through it. So we want to get a sum of this, right? So to get to the sum, let's just walk through it. Let's find the space, right? So let's do char index, find a space in imported text. So let's find the space in each one, and let's just call that where the space. All right, and run that. Okay, so on this one, it's over 5, and this one, it's over 7, and this one, it's over 7. Great. Now that we have that, we want to say, okay, let's take and find the length of that. All right, so let's take the length of imported text. Let's just take a look at that. So this is the length, right? We're just gathering all of our data here. I think I spelled it wrong. Length. Okay, so there's that, there's that. Now, next, what I want to do is I want to start chopping off this space USD. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, let's take the left of imported text, comma, and I just put in the char index, which will give me a number, and then close bracket. Oh, I messed that up. Hold on. Let's do it again. Hold up. I want the left of imported text, comma, the char index of imported text, which should be a number. There we go. Let's take a look at what that does. Boom, there it is. Now, let's see. So this is remove USD. We'll call it that column. Now we've got it removed. Now, we've done all of that formatting, but if I look over here, I still don't have the sum function. Why is that? Because everything we've done now, this char index, everything this left, it's still a string variable. So what we have to do actually to get it to sum is we're going to say, well, let me grab this so I don't have to retype it all. We're going to cast our result set as a varchar, or as money, and we'll say result. Okay, now I can come over here and boom, there it is. There's our ability to sum. Now, if I just run this, it's not going to work because we have all these group bys, right? So we should get a sum of, let's see, 4, 22, 6. It should be 6 something. So what I'm going to do is turn these guys off and run it. Wow, that's not the way we're going to do it. We're going to actually just delete all of them because that didn't work just by turning it off, because the SQL is trying to be smart and and put them back in because it thinks we want to do something else besides just sum. So anyhow, there you go. So and I'm just going to clean up this. So basically, we did all of this to that column to be able to actually do a sum of that money that was in those text fields. And that really is it. CharIndex is something that you will come across quite often as a data analyst, and it's something you should have in your bag of trips. How about tricks? Look, hey, I hope this video has been helpful to you, and may God bless you and have a great day.